So I still have my debugger up and running, and now that I gave you a brief overlook of how it works, let's actually send another message here. Hit send, it breaks again because I didn't remove the breakpoint, and let's now fix that error we have. I showed you how we can navigate, so let's click this line here, or this button to move to the next line. Now it registers this code, and here you also see that it doesn't immediately execute this function, because if I click that button again, we jump to the end of this function here. And that makes a lot of sense because, as I mentioned, this function is just registered by Node.js to be executed in the future once the file is read. So for now, code execution will continue with the other lines. Now, the problem we want to solve is not inside of here though. But if you want to get notified once a part in here is reached, you can simply add a breakpoint there, resume execution, and it will break once it reaches that. So once that callback is triggered because the write file operation is done. But our problem, of course, is the message, right? And the message is not available here anymore. So this analysis is actually not useful to us. So let's remove that breakpoint and resume. And let's again run this one more time. And now let's not resume execution, but look into message. And we see message is message, and that looks wrong. We see that parsed body is message equals and then our value. Now, since this is what we store in the message constant, we now can tell pretty clearly that our error has to be stemming from that part here, because we clearly have our value in here, but then we seem to be extracting the wrong piece. Now, split also does its job, and you can even use the console here to, for example, run some commands. You can run parsed body split equal sign here and see what this returns. So you see you get an array with message and tsat because I mistyped test. Now this clearly tells you, okay, so split is working. I'm in theory getting all the values I need. So the only thing that can be wrong now is the value I'm extracting here. And indeed we see, message holds message, which is incorrect. Message is the first element in the array. So I seem to be extracting the wrong element from the array. And indeed, we are extracting the first one when we should be extracting the second one here. So let's now change this to a 1, and now we got this error fixed. Obviously, this is a bit of a constructed example, but this is just to show you how you can use the debugger to go through your code step by step, that you have to keep in mind that Node doesn't execute line after line, but as I explained multiple times now, that it registers callbacks which are executed sometime in the future and which you therefore also have to control with breakpoints if you want to look into them. And with that, you should have some powerful tools for finding and fixing errors in your code.